The bulletin board, May 16th.
Okay, I got lost here. Are we doing a pledge first or roll?
Yeah, pledge.
Alright, join me in a pledge, please. Hang on a second, I gotta get to the pledge screen. Alright.
I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'm getting there. Alright, roll call please.
All right, Katie Appel. Here. Will Bergman.
Here.
Jeremy Hall. Brent
Here.
Creedy. Mike Dorsey.
Present. You guys had a chance to look at the agenda, and if so, do you approve?
I make a motion to approve the agenda.
Is there a second?
Second. Second.
Everybody in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Minutes from our last meeting on 4/16. Have you had a chance to look through those?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes, 4/16.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Everybody in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Recognition of audience. Anybody have anything you'd like to state tonight, other than what's on the agenda? Alright. Committee reports, road maintenance and highway. Stephen?
Okay, start off with, I was asked by Balsam Lake Township if we wanted to go together with them for a 30-day rental of a low that's got a basket on the front for trimming trees. It'd be $3,000 total for 30 days. Or and that'd be, if we could do it divided in half, be like 1/60th. We got several areas where there's trees hanging out over the road, you just use it, lift it up, cut them off. It's an extendable, you know, with the non-handles. But, I mean, they asked, they're gonna get it, and they thought they didn't need it for a full 30, but it's $3,000 for the whole thing, and we have the trailer that can haul it here. And, I mean, that's exactly what would fit on the trailer, but anyway, it's just something to think about.
Okay.
They don't obviously need an answer tonight, but.
When do they need an answer by?
Well, I would hopefully, if we could put on the agenda for the next meeting or whatever. I mean, if you
I
could
mean,
get
when
with
are they
their
looking at
chairman.
renting it?
Huh?
When are they looking at?
October.
Okay.
They want to do it in the fall when the leaves are off, and you don't spread, if you get cut oaks, you spread the oak willow. So it'd be a fall cutting. Do we have somebody here on the cemetery committee?
Mm-hmm.
I think it's good. We've been hauling them black dirt, and somebody up there, when they're digging the graves, is taking the dirt that they're digging and putting in their black dirt pile. So they're wrecking what we're hauling them, and I didn't know if you could bring that up at one of their meetings, because it's wrecking what we're giving them. I don't know what they did within the past, but I've never seen this until, literally 2 new graves, 40 yards from our black dirt pile, and they put the dirt in it. Waste.
Huh. Okay.
Anyway, I just,
Yeah, no, I can talk to somebody.
or whatever. One other thing on the road that you live on, there's signs that keep appearing at the end of that road. And technically, they're not supposed to be there, and I didn't know if you know them, your neighbors there, or if you could say something to them. You know what I'm talking about?
And eggs?
It's
No, it's
the,
not the
I
egg sign,
know.
it's the big sign.
they can't put them there. The sign ordinance does not allow it. So they have a boarding kennel,
I'll stop in and talk to them.
so they keep putting
The
them
last one
there.
I did not take, but there were still posts there, so I took the posts, and now this week there's a full new post and big sign again.
So what can they do?
They can't. They don't even have a license for a kennel. They never got, I don't know if they can have it. I mean, we have zoning rules, so.
Oh, yeah.
I'm,
No problem.
you're
I'll
pumping
talk
it?
to it.
The one other thing, it's normally on our agenda, I didn't even really notice it. We have additional road maintenance, I didn't see it on there. So I guess I'm asking where,
Oh. on the
Lee's
agenda.
Avenue is what we discussed earlier, and I didn't know where I should bring that up.
So you said Piers
We
Avenue?
got it.
Lee's.
Avenue.
We can talk about that on J, can't we?
Yeah.
On J for Lee's Avenue, we'll add it.
Okay, maybe I missed some on there. But, On our 210th, give you a rundown where we're at. Monarch came in and did what they call a knockdown grade and roll last week. Finished up on Friday. They've got it to the shape and everything it wants. Everything is what we call healing up really good. There's a couple minor areas where you can kind of feel a little deflection in the road right now. But even today with this rain, it's really getting firm, or I think another grade. Potentially, they were supposed to pave today, but with this rain, it's just not possible. The crew got held up, right now Monarch is paving County Road F out of Dresser. When they finished there, they wanted to move the crew right here. Widths and everything look good, but I'm hoping next week, but we gotta get some dry weather. I mean, it's holding good, but we gotta grade it again. They'll do what they call final grade and roll, either the next day or the day after. Usually they try to pave or put the first layer down within 2 days. If they have any areas that show any sign of deflection, and they talked to me, I think I talked to Mike about it, but what they would do is, they call it a binder course first, and they would let it sit for sometimes a week to 30 days, depending on if it's moving. And what it does is the black asphalt, the fresh black asphalt superheats the ground and causes the moisture to suck out of the ground. And then they'll come back in anywhere when it's firm. They wait, could be 30 days out and put the final lift on, so you don't have a problem after it's done. If they had a problem, it'd be through one smaller, through one layer, not the whole road. And we discussed that, but it looks like he's pretty confident right now that once they get back in there, the road will be fine. I mean, he described roads to me where they got the lay-down machine physically stuck while they're pulling it through. And if you go look at those roads today, that you can't tell there's ever an issue, because they waited after that initial course was put out. But 160th, where I dug up the ditch on the end, when I looked at it today, there is standing water down that ditch line where we lowered the culvert at the end, but it is flowing, and it's going to the west, so it's...
Good.
Well, there's none in the field on the other side, but we haven't really, it's been such a soaking rain, it's not really a gully water. But as long as it's flowing now, I think even if you do get a gully washer, you might get an inch or two there for a day or so, it'll be gone. It won't be before we've literally had it 15 inches deep over there probably, or better. So it shouldn't be an issue there. The tires are on the tractor. I went out and tested it, I actually mowed Deer Lake today with it. And it seems a little stiffer going down the road, like you can definitely count the cracks in the road, but you know, we got it for length of the life of the tire, not the ride really. So, anyway, is there any questions anybody's got for me?
Do you have any questions?
When are we gonna start patching potholes?
I've patched just about everything at once except for a mile of 160th, part of Sunshine, and 180th Avenue, Street. And the only reason I held off on 180th Street from doing it initial time this year is tentatively kind of talked about that was going to be one of the roads we might do this year. I was going to do it last. I mean, if we're going to pulverize it, there's no sense in putting thousands in asphalt over there. But if I get a good day, actually, we got the asphalt out here, and me and Sean have been going a day with Sean, Balsam Lake Township person, a day here, a day over there. And about a day and a half, I'll be through the rest of the roads, probably. And I started on both 160th, 220th, Sunshine, half done with it, but I got to the hills with our machine. I don't dare do it by myself because they come over the crest of those hills, and you're working bottom hills mainly there. So I have to have a helper, at least slow the traffic down at the top of the hill. Same with on 160th Avenue, over there by the gravel pit. It's bad on the hill, and I need somebody to slow them down. They come over that hill and get you. And 200th, I've already done it twice this year, and that north end, and they keep up and out. So it needs it again up there, but there's not that many that bad up there right now compared to what it was earlier. And I'm sure I'll see more with this rain again, but...
Did you have an area of concern?
Just there's one on 160th that I take Steve's name in the vein every time I hit it.
Okay.
Where's it at? And
Right, just east of 210.
okay, well, if that's not Flat Earth, I get it.
It's eastbound,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'll look there. And there's some, I thought I got the worst ones, and that was actually in the dip past Bolene's place, but I must have not seen that.
Oh. We'll find it.
Yeah, anyway, but yeah, we were gonna start at I was just past your road on Sunshine's where we stopped. We ran out of material. We're gonna go up 160th and then out 200th and then across to 170th for Kennedy. But
All right, nobody has anything else for Steve? Let's move on to our clerk/treasurer's report. Jan?
Alrighty, disbursements, you can see we paid for the gravel, paid Paragon, for the work on 210th. I voided 2 checks, it's halfway down the page, it's a memo. One was paid in November, these 2 checks were issued, one was issued in November and one was, I think, December. One was to WEX Bank, which is for fuel, the other one was Pope Burnett. They never got them, so they billed us again. So I did pay those dollar amounts, I just kind of kept the checks outstanding on the bank statement just to make sure they didn't come in. Anyway, I just voiding those out and putting it back into the accounts that they were withdrawn from.
Okay.
You have that happen a lot.
No,
Yeah, I
this
do.
this was the first time, so I don't know if it was over the holiday, but I mean, our service has gone way downhill.
Yeah.
Way downhill, but this was really the first time I've
Okay.
dealt with it, and I thought, oh boy, if we're gonna start, it wasn't, I mean, like I said, it was over a 2.5, 3 month period, and
Yeah.
I was a little worried.
I have a silly question.
Yep,
Are some of those things, I shouldn't say it's silly, are some of those things we would want to put on auto pay, or are we against auto pay? Stamps are like 70-something cents a
Well,
piece.
because,
Besides that, can
because
we
of
do-
state law with, they really want 3 signatures on the check.
Oh,
We
yeah,
already just do
that's
2,
right.
but
Yeah.
I did go to auto pay on,
A few things.
yeah,
Okay.
yep,
Perfect.
I do some of it, you'll see
Yeah.
the EFTs are the things
Okay.
Okay.
so.
I mean, everything's moved that way, so.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Didn't
no,
know if
and
it'd be
yeah,
easier or not, yeah, simpler.
yep.
Okay. Cool.
The quick trip fuel, I pay that, because they weren't getting it, well, they don't bill me in time, so they weren't getting it
Oh,
in time, and I was
sure.
constantly, so that's one I just
And then it would
started.
always be backwards, you're always trying to,
So there are
reference
some
it.
that I've started to,
Okay.
even though, I don't know if we have to do an ordinance or if we can yet, I'm sure the state will catch up with that,
eventually.
yes.
Yeah, it might make less work for you later on. I mean,
Yeah.
writing checks, signing checks, like something. Okay,
Yeah.
perfect.
Oh, yeah, no, it's way easier.
Right.
Somebody wanna make a motion to approve the disbursements?
I will approve the disbursements, 25,103 to 25,140.
I'll second your motion.
All right, Will,
Yes.
Brent,
Yes.
Katie,
Yes.
Mike.
Aye.
And then the year-to-date, I do have, I made a copy so you guys could write on it by your desk, but you also got it in the packet when we go to the highway, where we're sitting with highway budget, but the year-to-dates are moving along pretty typical. I don't know if you have any questions on the treasury report. And receipts, and then there was a bunch of dog and cat issues that the copies of the invoices are
Yeah,
at
about
the
5
end.
of them.
Yeah,
A couple of them are pretty legit.
Does he call you before he goes out? Is that?
No, because it's, dispatch will only call one person.
Oh, same as a fire deal.
Yeah.
All right.
He could, but he doesn't.
Yeah,
He
he
doesn't
could
want
call
to.
me.
He,
Well,
I think his agreement might even say he's supposed to.
Yeah,
That's what I
and-
thought.
It does.
But
Not
he
once has
don't-
he ever called.
Yeah. Well, at least it's getting done.
Any questions? Everything else you'd like to point out to us?
No, nothing.
Alright, then we will move on to zoning, permits and logs.
So the plan commission minutes are attached from the meeting last Wednesday. And it's been busy with, land use, not overwhelming or anything, but land uses and building permits and just, permits coming in.
Has there been a permit for 200th and 160th? Applied for? The driveway request was?
200 and 160.
I don't know where we were the other day,
What's that?
220?
Oh, I'm sorry, 220th, I went the wrong way. sorry.
Oh, yes, I just issued it.
For the driveway or for the land use?
driveway. Okay, so that's a field,
Yes, it is.
but they're putting in a driveway and they're working on a subdivision. So
That's what I was curious.
eventually, they're working on it. It should be in for it's too late for the June meeting. We're looking at July.
Okay,
But I do know the surveyor's working on it. The kids are gonna divide and eventually, but it doesn't sound like they're gonna build right away, but the subdivision's gonna get done, it sounds like, pretty quick,
okay,
so,
just curious.
yeah, yep. Oh, and they've got a really long driveway in back there from 160th to the existing buildings.
Mm-hmm.
And it kinda looked like this is gonna, not as long, but it'll be a ways in there. I guess we'll see when we see the official subdivision.
Okay.
And all the logs are attached, and I don't know if you have any questions, but
Any questions about the zoning report?
oh, and then I did hand out a citizen complaint and
Yes. Yeah.
I think at this point, maybe, I don't, unless you wanna go out and visit, it's not on the agenda, it's just
No.
wanted you guys aware. No initial contact has been made or anything.
No, and I'm not sure what the rules are right now as far as that goes, so. We'll clarify that later.
Do we need to put it on for next month, or we just kind of figure it out first? and
Let me
then-
figure it out
Okay.
first, and then we'll see if it's a agenda
Agenda
item.
item.
Did you do supervisors yet?
No, that's next.
How about supervisors? Does any supervisors have any reports?
I just had, a complaint, comment, wondering if there's anything we do, the speed limit, I know this has come up before. Not even necessarily the speed limit on 140th and Fairgrounds, but if an additional sign could be put up. I meant to go check the distances between signs, I did not. But coming from one way, I guess there's,
So as you come,
No.
I talked to him multiple times.
Okay.
I was gonna say,
I
you
know
must be
we've talked-
searching for more answers.
yeah, I,
It is, it's, we didn't like
I know
Mom's
this is
answer,
not
so
the
we'll
first
go ask
time
Dad.
this area has come up, so, I was gonna go look and see, but what I was told is there's like this whole space with no signage or,
If you
Whatever,
come
so-
out of the town, there's a speed limit sign that says one thing.
yeah,
Or out of the city, I'm sorry.
yep,
But if you're in the town, we have a different speed limit.
yep,
And our roads are posted as they should be, but they want something more.
More signs or more?
Yeah.
Okay.
They did have
Was
an
it-
incident there, but somebody had torn down the signs and, you know, I think what was it, a caution ahead sign was torn down once and then that stop sign was missing for a little while.
Were we talking on Fairgrounds?
Yeah, that's like 2 years ago.
Fairgrounds.
Well, they took down that 35 mile per hour speed limit sign there too, but it's still 35 before that sign.
Yeah.
Another sign before that.
Well, and the 35 is not enforceable, but
It
we
is,
have a
you're right.
35 up, so they really,
Yes,
they would not be happy if we put a 45, because then people
Right.
will know they can speed up, the ones that don't know.
Right. It sounded more like what I was told, that there was not even a sign coming. I believe he said towards, I believe this person said towards going into the city, that there was not even a sign for like a huge chunk of space, but again, I didn't go, I was gonna go drive it and look myself.
Yeah, and I told him, you know, that we can't do anything unless we do a traffic study, and he goes, okay, I was just asking, you know, just inquiring, so.
Yeah, they weren't mad when I talked to them either.
No,
The sign is still at Bluebird Hill, isn't it?
I believe it is, but,
Okay, I mean, that was there
But
last time I did
that's-
sign check.
yeah.
Is it something they can do to cut trees at their, I know it's really a lot of trees.
Sounds like it's on a corner too,
No,
right?
it's at a T.
It's on a T.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay.
Oh, that makes more sense of where, okay.
So then it really isn't a speed issue then, if it's on a T, they can't be going that fast if
They
they
don't
just.
like people driving past their house as quickly as they do.
But if they're coming from a stop, it can't be
No,
as
they're
fast. Oh, okay.
Fairgrounds, there's no stop sign there. There's a T on, what, 140, or a stop sign on 140.
That was all.
All right, anybody have anything else? Somebody brought up to me that, asked about a culvert, I went and talked to the homeowner. He's made an effort to find the culvert, I talked to Steve, you know, we were gonna go look for it a little bit. The weather hasn't been cooperating, but the homeowner has been very nice about it, and, we've been, you know, good back to him, so.
Yeah, Diggers is called on that, so
Okay.
2 more days they'll be ready to go.
So that'll get resolved, you know, and, we'll figure it out. But other than that, I have not had any other complaints. Alright, we're on to new business. Item A, special exception, for storage sheds at 1928 US Highway 8. Oh, wait. Huh?
I thought we already did.
We did something, a modular home next door. But now this is the more storage sheds similar to what's on southbound 35.
And I don't know if I got an email from the applicant, but he's like over 3 hours away. He was here at the plan commission meeting, but I didn't open my email to see if clearly he's not able to make it tonight.
This is like stuff
The
down.
neighboring property that we just did last month?
Hang on a second, try to pull it up.
Perfect.
Yes,
Yeah,
it
it
is.
should be,
If I get
it
the
should
right
be, yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Screen here. Yeah, so
So
last
it's-
month we did this property
Yep,
for the modular homes.
yep.
This guy wants to use this property for the sheds.
So it's the old temp service. I believe, I haven't seen it, but I was told a beautician is going in there, but if he was to do any sales, he would be using the building, there would be nothing in, he would not be using, most of the sales are gonna be calls, phone calls, orders, whatever, but if he had to drive up, that he would use the office,
That's there.
yeah.
This is gonna be very similar to what's north on 35. We granted him
Yes,
permission a year ago.
yes, these
so-
are just a
It's gonna
different
be a
brand.
replica of this
Yeah.
on this lot.
Is he keeping him towards the back? Did he
I
say
put
in
that
the
condition
thing?
on here and the plan commission had no issues, is that they would not, because put them in the parking lot. I told them it had, or one of the conditions, but you guys can always, you know, what you're approving, was that they couldn't be any closer to US Highway 8 than the existing
That's
structure.
Right, right.
Is it a property line? Why is it under special exception?
Because storage sheds in this are, we originally eliminated it due to that other side, but it was put back in
Okay.
as a special exception.
I think the guy on 35, we had to do the same thing, didn't we?
Yes.
The special exception,
Yes,
same? All right.
yep. And even the modular home
Yeah,
dealer, even though it's a
yeah.
different issue, but it's same kind of
Same
philosophy.
general.
Otherwise it fits.
Yeah, so the plan commission recommended approval with the conditions that are listed.
I'll make a motion to approve resolution 2516 with the conditions presented as proposed.
Is there a second?
I'll second her motion.
Any further discussion? All right, roll call please.
Katie,
Yes.
Brent,
Yes.
Will,
Yes.
Mike.
Aye. All right. Item B, special exception for a tattoo shop and permanent makeup and permanent jewelry.
Are they here?
The proposed owner is sitting in the audience. Would you like to tell us about your business?
Well, that pretty much covers it. It's beauty services.
Thought maybe you'd be more elaborate than.
No, it's beauty services by appointment only. I don't have any staff, it's just me. So the client gets their individual attention.
One of the questions was a building permit. John, did you reach out to Ben regarding any of the work you've been doing, if a building permit was required? I
did
called
on
him.
Suite A, and then we just sheet rocked Suite C.
Okay, it was more so the plumbing for this one. Was
Okay.
there, did you talk, I called Ben, I didn't hear back from him yet.
Okay.
So,
No.
Yeah. And you're gonna be in this, east end here, you said?
Yep.
The West End, yep.
Or west end, I'm sorry.
What a great.
Wasn't there one in there before?
There
The
was-
center,
Oh.
the
Oh, I
center,
was-
the really big one.
Yeah, okay.
They had a lot of people in there.
Yep.
Come on, you got coffee on your right, ice cream on your left. Amazing.
You got bikes right across the road.
All right, so the planning commission did recommend approval on this one also with the conditions listed.
Your probation, we always do
Anybody
that.
would like to make a motion once you're ready?
I make a motion to approve resolution 25-17.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion? All right, roll call please.
all right, Brent,
Yes.
Will,
Yes.
Katie,
Aye.
Mike.
Aye. Good luck with your business.
Thank you.
Item C, special exception for transient lodging at 1368, 190th Street. If you can find that one here, but this was just change property ownership, correct?
Correct.
It was approved last year, but now since there's a change of ownership, it came back to us. And you're in this lot here?
The next one, I think.
Right on the end? No.
Two more up,
Two
Oh,
more,
This
Yeah.
one?
the larger one, yeah.
Yep,
the next one up, I think, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, it's the big one right at the end.
Oh,
Yep.
this one here?
Yep. That no houses on it, that's one picture. So yeah, basically they were in here last year and just due to a,
Yeah, so there was two
change in
people that owned it
ownership.
last year, each of you owned a parcel or a house in there, and now it's consolidated to one owner.
So we originally purchased 1366 and 1368 with a partner, actually two other partners.
Okay.
I'm one, there are two others. After operating for a while, one of the partners really is not as interested in short-term rental, just wanted it for his personal use. So he owns 1366, and the other two existing partners, I've been operating it for the past year. I will continue to operate it if you grant me the special exception, and the 2 remaining partners now own it.
Okay.
So basically nothing changes except Pete, our partner, is just not on the paperwork anymore.
Okay,
Easy.
thank you for the explanation. I gotta find it here, which special exception it is. Yep, so the planning commission also recommended approval with the following conditions.
Which there was never any complaints about that one that I'm recalling.
I don't recall, well, let's.
No, and
let's
it's the
make a
exact
motion on
same
that now.
resolution, just with different names and.
I make a motion to approve resolution 2518.
Is there a second?
I'll second it.
Alright, any more discussion? Yeah, I have not received any complaints on this property at all. I don't know if the town has or anybody has. Yeah, as far as I know, it's been trouble-free. Alright, you guys ready to vote? Roll call, please.
Katie,
Aye.
Will,
Yes.
Brent,
Yes.
Mike.
Aye. Good luck.
Thank you.
I'll mail and email you a letter and update it.
Alright, item D, appoint town clerk / treasurer. And remind us, we have to appoint you because it's,
She's doing
Because then
both.
it's appointed position, so we've always done it opposite years of your term.
okay.
And then the way this, the way this is spelled out is if we get a appointed treasurer, you know, basically I am both, but if somebody steps up, then they just take over, but.
And we're
So
still
we're in place.
we're still looking for,
I
Treasurer's
think
always out
so,
there.
yeah,
Okay.
so we don't, yeah.
okay. Alright,
If we keep like looking, that helps us avoid our audit or whatever.
No, that's just when,
Okay. Let's see what-
Yep.
I make a motion to adopt resolution 2519.
is there a second?
Second?
Any more discussion? Roll call?
Will,
Yes.
Brent,
Yes.
Katie.
Yes.
Mike.
Alright. Item E, fireworks display at Big Rock Creek on May 24th, 2025, which is 3 days from now.
They do it every year, they just
Nothing
forget
like
to do this
Getting
once
in
in a while.
the nick of time here.
Yeah.
I thought the same thing. The next one we'll have is for July.
Correct. No sense in
So-
sending them both, eh?
We don't call this a number? Am I missing the number?
No, but you just approve it. Technically, I don't think it even needs a roll call vote, it's just unanimous.
I'll make a motion to approve the fireworks on 5/24/25 for Big Rock.
As long as weather conditions provide. Right?
Yes,
Alright.
as long as weather,
Is there burning conditions?
yeah, burning condition.
Is there a second?
I didn't know.
Who was the second, I'm sorry?
I don't know yet, they're fighting about it.
Okay, I'm gonna second it.
Alright. Everybody in favor, say aye.
I,
Aye.
Opposed? Alright. Listen for the fireworks. Item F, consider a confidentiality agreement with Polk County. Adam, you got more to explain on this one?
No. They sent a one-sided agreement and asked you to sign it, and I told Janet, don't sign that.
Okay.
I don't see any reason for it. If they come up with a good reason or want to make it a little more mutually beneficial, then that would be fine. But my recommendation would be to ignore the county,
Check written out to them and it's blank?
pretty much.
Okay. Alright, I think that solves that problem. Approval of, item G, approval of sale of rocks and boulders at the town pit. Somebody sent me a text, said that they would give us $800 for the boulders and rocks that are in the pit. I told them that it had to go past the council here before we can make a decision, so. If somebody would like to sell them or like to not sell them.
Do we have a future need for them at all
Not that I'm aware of.
yet?
Is
Can I discuss? Anyway, what
Yeah,
I
yeah.
wanted them for was to make a little parking area down there and put them around it so people on the Gainey could park there off the road.
Okay.
But that's been shut down years ago, so they're just
Who
sitting.
shot that? I don't recall being,
Well, they have one in Centuria, so why would we build another one a mile from it? It doesn't, if it costs money, there's a nice one with bathrooms in Centuria. A lot of
how
people
would
don't
it cost
know
us
that.
money? I mean, I
You
know
have to
we're talking
level-
to something different here. but
Yeah,
never
well,
mind.
you'd have to level the area out, and, I mean, it wouldn't really be money other than the material and the time.
Are you in favor of selling them or not?
Yes, they're just stealing them anyway, why don't you sell them, get some money for them?
These are the big ones, right?
Yeah,
They're gonna come move them and whatever.
We're gonna collect the $800 and they're gonna disappear, is my understanding.
I'm sure we'll get more in the future.
Yeah, I don't
They
know.
were dug out of our ditches, I mean, I'm sure more will,
There's a value for these things.
Well,
though.
yeah.
Well, I
Right,
can
all
tell you the
these
current rate
landscapers-
right now is $150 a ton.
A ton.
If you were to buy them for your yard from a contractor, that's the going rate per ton. And if we go to trap rock, that's about the same there, but if you don't have a use for them, they're just field stones.
we talked about this before, it's been discussed before, and you were gonna contact a contractor and they didn't wanna buy them.
No, I contracted talked to the 3 biggest contractors around. And
And they did, so we did talk about this previously, and so if there's,
We don't need them for like 1/60th going down to 87 to help control water or nothing. You know, I'm just thinking of areas where we
the
got a lot of
amount I've been
water.
getting every year, I can haul over there now with a backhoe and place them where I need it. I mean, if I just go down Fairgrounds right now, I can get
Pick
half a
some.
truckload.
Okay.
And if the farmer doesn't complain to take them where he's pounding them on the edge, I could easily get them. We could get more for that kind of stuff.
So have we turned people down in the past who've wanted them rocks?
No, not to my
I don't like
knowledge.
knowing
One
they were asked
person.
before.
one person had called here and asked,
Oh.
and they said it needs to, I don't know if this is the same one that's calling you now, or
I don't know who called before. I don't know who called, so
it was a Vitalis.
it's not the same person. Okay, somebody wanna make the motion, yes or no, or not, or what do you guys wanna do?
Are we selling them as a lot?
We're selling them as is.
Like all
It's
of
the
them?
bunch.
Yeah, just that, yeah, they're kinda the larger boulders are kinda segregated out in one pile.
So they won't be taking the ones that are all dispersed around things.
I don't believe so.
I think we need to get some clarity on that.
Okay. Not every rock in the pit, just,
Or Steve can push them up in a pile like these rocks for, I don't know.
Yeah, the ones that I had spread out in there were to keep the people from.
That's what I thought you were trying to do.
Stealing our other stuff.
Yeah,
he says, I'm interested in the pile of boulders at the township pit. I'd offer $800 for the pile. So that tells me that
Kinda
it's-
means the pile off to the side.
Yeah. I'll make a motion to, sell that pile of rocks for $800.
Is there a second?
and
Is there a second? It's twice. Is there a second? All right, motion died for no second. On to item H. It's been brought up a couple different times about changing up our mower that we mow the ditches with. And I just threw this on here for discussion. Steve, I talked to him just briefly and he got this pamphlet from Fairboy, I think he said.
Yeah.
It's a batwing mower. Steve, you wanna talk about pros and
If you've
cons?
seen the counties around the area, the big green ones, anyway, they have a 15-foot batwing, but they have a little bit bigger mower horsepower wise than our tractor, sorry, not mower. And then on it is a hydraulic arm that's a swing way, so the tractor stays on the hard pavement all the time, and you swing with hydraulics the mower down into the ditch. And being that we have a 100 horsepower tractor versus theirs are in the 120, 130, a 12-foot would probably be suited for a tractor, which is still 3 passes with the long arm. But the nice thing about this type of mower is the tractor we got, you still use. And, you know, with the hours we have on that tractor, we could almost double the hours on it realistically before the motor's shot. And you could still rebuild tractors, so you could, obviously, but we could probably get another 10 to 15 years on that tractor, I would think.
So you wanna do away with the arm we got on the
And you
tractor?
leave it right on there, and you mow with it, it's be on the ditch side when you're mowing, and when there's areas you can't do, like guardrails, steep hills. A steep hill that you don't wanna put down, like 160, it's got a couple, there's,
Yeah.
anyway, but then you go back with the lawnmower, and you touch up the areas you can't get to with that mower. But, the other townships that are using them right now, they've cut about probably 40 to 45% off their mowing time in the fall.
I was just gonna ask that, cause I
That's
feel like we spend a ton
We
of
do.
time
We do,
mowing.
it's over 300 hours a year.
Okay.
Mowing.
And they only mow like a 4-foot swath at a time. I think, like
Okay,
we
we
were
have-
talking earlier, an old sickle mower would cut twice as much as what
We
we
have
have
literally a 60-inch deck, and then when
Yeah.
you're way out there, you gotta overlap, or you leave a line, you gotta come back and cut it anyway. So you're literally doing, if you're lucky, 50 inches of pass.
So this is kinda what he's talking about, right there.
Yeah,
You're not gonna like drive the tractor in a ditch like
No, the
this.
tractor stays right on the road, and that big hydraulic arm hydraulically pushes it off and down over into the.
So 40 to 50% more efficient. Is the old one something we can throw in the,
No, we're
Saying
keeping it,
keep it?
we don't have one we pull now.
So you'll be running both at the same time? I mean, they'll both,
Could.
I don't know.
I've never seen by run two, the long arm in that, that's a
Well,
lot.
I'm just saying that long arm, where does it get that power? Doesn't
That's
it?
off the front PTO.
Oh, okay,
This one's off the 540 up the back.
okay.
So it's totally separate hydraulic systems. But you still need, you wouldn't have enough horsepower to run
No.
both at the
No.
same time.
I mean, both mowers will be hooked to the tractor.
Oh, yeah, I
why
would
are
never
these two
remove
numbers
the
so
long arm.
different?
Cash price.
oh yeah.
That's a
Yeah.
lot.
That's
If you notice, there's a
10 grand.
government
Township,
price.
it's a government, isn't it?
Oh, and it's like 25 to 30% off the price if we just went and bought it.
Yeah, I know it.
Probably
That's
more than
crazy.
25%. And that's from a place in our township, that dealer.
So we say we had 300 hours?
It's actually higher than that. It's pushing 350 depending on how much
Oh,
brush you go
sorry,
back in.
there's more.
Normally 320 to
Oh, this
340, somewhere in there, just to get through everything. If I go back and do brush in the winter, if we don't have deep snow, then you could add a lot.
So
of
you would probably never put our grass blades back on your arm mower? Or do you switch? blades?
I use the same blades year round.
Oh,
It's
okay.
just heavy duty,
All right,
like 14 pounds a piece, suction blade.
We're looking at which one? The XH 1500, the XH 100, or the Flex 510, or we need the Flex 510, sorry, 1510. We need the arm and the mower, both. I have 3 bids in front of me.
Okay, the one I'm looking at that I would like to get is a 12-foot. I believe the 1500 is a 15-foot. And then I think the other one was the, I don't know, I've just barely looked at today, I picked it up.
So roughly, it'd say it was $6 grand a year in labor.
labor.
Yeah. And that could be used for other stuff. I mean, it's typically any
Do we
township.
have other stuff to keep you busy?
Well, I don't know, but I mean, if you're looking at trying to cut hours or something in the future, that's a way to do it.
Yeah.
In the
We,
fall.
I would say like
But I don't know.
mowing is.
I'm a fan of getting a mower, but I mean, we spray for that stuff, that really cuts your mowing down
Yes.
drastically.
It does in the June, July mowing.
Yeah,
And then with this, see, I still gotta mow everything 1 or 2 passes at June or July. But I'm not heavy mowing, it's not sun spot mowing. But with that, you just run one time down, and you're done, the whole time.
I agree. Now, do you feel our ditches are, you're gonna put that $60,000 rig out there to kiss rocks?
Will it
Oh, no, I've
contour,
been picking rocks for years, unless I get new ones,
except on fairgrounds?
huh?
Except on fairgrounds, you said there's a truckload.
Yeah.
Well, there is.
No, I'm just kidding.
I've been working with them, hauling them out of there, but they
Yeah.
just started.
But I know what, you're just talking about putting this in from the road, 12 feet. That's,
Yeah, or where you can see the flat part in the ditch, you know, you might have a steep drop, you'd run it to that flat swell on the bottom.
Does it have to, will the mowers contour to the ditch?
Yes, they're
Okay.
battling,
Yeah.
so they will, you have two lifts on the side and a flat piece in the middle. So you can almost, it looks like a U when you're done.
When do we start mowing?
Usually around July. We do 10 feet. We try to leave the bottom of the ditch in the back so, because of the birds and the turkeys nesting, pheasants, whatever. Don't get into any of the brush until fall.
If this was a purchase, what would it go under? I just feel like we should maybe relook at budget and.
I'm not saying that we need to decide whether
Yeah,
to buy
no,
one.
but I wanna look at.
Could have money
where
in the
we-
highway, you can
Okay,
take it from
that's-
another
that's-
category, or
Okay.
we don't have anything budgeted for equipment capital.
So
right
we
now.
just kinda take it from where there's money. that
You'd
was
have
not
to do a
used.
budget amendment, but yeah,
But from where.
from another
Okay.
account, kind of.
Okay.
And Polk County currently has, I think, 3 of them. Garfield Township has 1. If you talked with any of them, they could say in how.
Is there any way that we could like
Have them come do our
use
ditches
one and see how it
and
works?
see how it
or not?
works before we buy one.
Balsam Lake used it yet last fall. I mean, they brought it over there and they used it for 2 weeks, they mowed their township. Except for the steep areas, they went back with the long arm. But I could have Mark come over with it, or one of the guys from Garfield, and
Yeah,
test it, see how it works.
yeah.
It'd be nice.
I think it's gonna work great, but I'm just more concerned about our ditches.
I mean,
Well, stumps
Hit
or
rocks.
rocks
oh yeah,
or.
but, and I've literally for years, every spring, I go around and I look for those. If I hit them the year before, I mark them, and then we go back the spring when well, it's a little bit late now,
Yeah.
when we dig them out, but I took, say 30 this spring out. My biggest problem is utility companies that are coming through, which we had a rash when they did all that, not rash, but a lot of them when they did the fiber optic. The year
Just
after
throw
that, I
them.
didn't
Yeah.
do much. But I'm pretty much back under control of it again. With having a back one in the shop, if I hit one, I'll go back and get it. If it's one of those ones that stick out.
Well, it's gonna do a better job than we have.
Yeah, well,
Sure.
I just think it's.
The
I don't know.
time.
I mean, my zero turn mows wider than the mower does, you know? It's,
that mower we have has a definite purpose. It's for heavy brush and reaching down steep banks.
better, yeah, it's good for
Yeah.
cutting fence lines, you know, the brush away from a fence line or something, you know?
Yeah. But it wasn't really meant for doing like that by your farm there, that long stretch, he's like, wow.
Yeah, no, I agree.
Was that a motion?
No. I don't know that we can do it.
What kind of time, I mean, if this,
If
I
we
can,
ordered
I would
it, how
like
long
to
would
get
it
more
take?
information, because I don't think in there, the 12 footers in there.
Mhm.
And I
I
want
just
to,
saw the picture of what we're talking about on the back.
Yeah,
On the back, that's really what we are looking at.
Right back here.
yeah.
but.
I would say if you can get us all the information on the 12-footer and just put this on again, but then we can look and get a little more digging to see
Yeah.
it, and then find out how long it takes to get it.
These are the brands the county runs?
See if the guy
Yes,
can
that's
come
the same
before
one
next
that they
month.
got right there. And the
See if
reason
it's-
I
Yeah,
was kind of looking at this brand
whatever.
is the county stocks parts. And Garfield right now has the same one, so they're getting parts from the county.
You know, you bought it, we're
Baraboo-
talking about fixing it.
No, but you gotta get more blades and all that, I mean, hydraulic.
Baraboo
ones are
doesn't
easy.
But we
You
should
can't
be
get
able
them
to go
from
right to
Baraboo?
Baraboo, live in our township, why take the county markup?
I think it's cheaper.
I'm just saying,
Yeah.
go,
Oh,
Well, you buy it through Baraboo, but a lot of the stuff, Baraboo's, how would you say this, to be, not the greatest at getting parts for that mower. The county goes direct to the company. And
Gotcha.
because of the amount that they use, they,
so then they're a dealer,
Make them stock them,
Kind of.
part of the deal.
yeah.
yeah,
I
something.
mean, you can't, the county must be a dealer then, buy it from the county. They can't get parts unless they're a dealer,
I don't know.
you gotta go through a dealer.
I can talk to the county to see what they can get prices on for, but they have the 1,500 model, not the next size down.
So
They
that,
have all-wheel drive tractors,
I
and they're
just
at
don't
least
understand.
20,
Do you,
21.
do you think Garfield could come between now and next month for a test run on it, just to,
Sure.
that's what I would, not making a motion, but I would have them come try it. You put together the 12-foot bid, gives us a month to look at Money's and then reconsider this next month. I just, yeah, if they can
Okay.
come make sure it works as well as it's supposed to. I mean, they might get here and go, oh, it's not gonna work. I doubt it, but it saves us a bunch.
So Bosun Lake used it for a couple weeks,
Yeah, they used it this fall, or last fall.
but now they don't wanna buy one?
It's not that they don't wanna buy one, I
Oh.
think they're looking at some other stuff, I
Oh.
guess. But they did a swap, Garfield doesn't have a long arm, so they're swapping,
Oh, okay, now that makes more sense.
yeah.
Okay, do we know what we're doing?
Yep.
I'll bring it over. Would you like to be around for the test? You're done with your planting, so you, and you're done
Yeah,
with the
you can
tractor?
see if it works out, yeah.
Like they cut the time, so we'd have it for a few days. Come on the evening, or yourself, Mike, in the evening, we can do it for everybody.
Mm-hmm.
I'll do some research with Baraboo though and see if we can just get parts direct, or reach out to the county and see. I mean, I do a lot of business with Baraboo and
Yeah.
they,
Well, and they didn't say they couldn't. It was Garfield said they had a problem getting parts there, so they got it through.
okay.
So you'll probably open it up so the board members can come out, let me know, and I'll just post that the
On there,
board is,
yeah.
you know, just in case there's a, not that
More
there'll be
than
any,
two.
Yeah.
but at least it's posted so you guys are
We
covered.
do 2 on each night, would that work?
Yeah, no, just go out, but all we have to do is put a notice up saying demo
Okay.
on mower, I mean, it's
Okay.
no.
And I could even have one, I would rather, if they're gonna do a demo and you're gonna watch how it works, have one of those guys come and do it. Cause it takes a while to get used to that hydraulics like that.
Funnier if you did it.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, once you see them doing it, it's like, dang, that's really cool, but learning to run the hydraulics in your mirror and watching, I mean, they miss signs by like 10 inches when they're coming up, going back around. Takes practice.
All right, thanks, Steve. On to item I,
Crack ceiling.
crack ceiling. We have
So we put the packet out with specific roads, which were the new roads. And then we did the map, the remaining map, and in yours, it's not in mine, but I did give you the map. Actually, it was the map that, that Farner did, just with all the different
even a
lines.
color scan, I'm
Yeah.
impressed, thank you.
Well, yeah, that's why I didn't make a copy, because I only can do black and white, but you guys got it color. Anyway, he addressed, pretty much your differences, and I don't know, but this is why we priced it. You've got per pound, and you've got two different people looking at the roads and determining how much they think it needs. There were certain roads that were crack sealed, so down in the bottom, the remaining roads, some of those have so many cracks. He said, you really don't do alligator cracks, you do the transitional. He goes, yeah, I can go in there. He goes, but you're really not there's no way to get them all and you're wasting your money. And he said, since it's been chip sealed, there is some sealant.
So all this stuff with the lines through it is too far gone, he's saying.
Might be, yes.
Yep.
So that is why on the very bottom, the one guy bid it all to do whether or not he'll get all the alligator and stuff, but.
On the bottom of the quote,
Yeah, on the sheets, the Seal Tech, when you look at their prices. So one just said, you're wasting your money throwing it in these areas, cause you're only supposed to be transitional. The other guy bid it.
yeah, the whole
For
idea is catch it before it gets to the
Right,
alligator.
right, so if you look at the pounds, one guy's saying 8,716, cause he removed some of them that are not transverse cracks, and the other guy's saying it's gonna be over 27,000 pounds, you know.
On those too far gone, where do those fall in our 5-year plan? Or are they not on our 5-year?
Well, it's not that they're too far gone, it's just they're not, they
So a lot of
didn't
them are-
chip sealed. What are they?
You got 200th Street, that's in the plan, I
Next
think in
year.
the future to
Just
be
Yeah.
next
done.
year.
So that's not even, I mean, you know what it looks like, everybody knows what 200th Street looks like. The other one up by Thamer's Farm right there. Just doing the transverse cracks on that road, you're gonna benefit big time going down that road with a wide band or whatever.
But weren't we talking about pulverizing that and
No,
not?
The
that's
last
the elbow
stretch.
where you turn to go back to
To the
the north.
north. So
Oh,
that
here?
goes to the, nope, so
It's-
go to the end where it's, where he's drawn it, just go
Here.
to, nope, the other end, the L, the bottom of the backwards L, where he's got the, I know I'm not.
I'm lost too.
Okay, just go up to the next road and go back
This
here.
is
and
I.
That's
Go
I.
down, that's 170.
Then go
Right
right
there.
there,
Okay,
go,
that road goes out
This
and then
road.
bends to the north. It's not even on
But
there.
that's the dump road.
Yeah.
yeah,
It is.
Okay.
And
Yeah,
if that last piece from the curb to the dump, we want to just pulverize and make it gravel. It's, nobody lives there, nothing goes
isn't there only
there.
one house on this road?
That's
Yeah,
not
right
that
there.
barn. There
Right where your
shouldn't
arrow
be
is.
Yeah.
People there.
So, yeah,
Yeah.
I'm not in favor of throwing money at a road that's basically.
Okay, I think he's saying something different. We're saying pulverize the whole road and make it gravel.
I thought we were just talking about the, 90% of the road's pretty good. It's the last 300 yards that's bad, and that's from where it makes the 90-degree bend goes
Yeah.
north. Just pulverize that when they're up in that area doing like 170 or 200, and we'll just maintain as gravel.
Just
There
the
it goes.
last 300, past the house.
Yes, past the house and past the curb.
Then leave, don't do nothing up to the house.
Well, if you can crack seal it, that's always nice. I mean, don't get it any worse than it is, but very limited traffic there, and we have what?
There's no traffic there.
We have the farm stuff, whatever, but,
More reason to leave it pulverized.
Yeah.
well,
I tried driving down that road to go look at it, but I feel like I'm driving into their house, so I turn around.
just kill it.
We're, am I too far? we're-
no, you're
Oh, yeah, it's
right there,
right here.
yep,
You can see that last, if you keep going to
Right
the,
past the house.
Yep,
Yeah.
keep going, see where it bends there?
Why
That
do we
is
go back?
our town
It used
road.
to be a dump.
no, I know, but I mean. Okay.
Well, you got young kids, they wanna go park then?
Good,
That'll make it
leave
good
it
trail.
rocky.
I mean, that road's bad, and to sit there and put in like blade patching or anything.
Well, either
like
way,
that,
it's
you're
marked
just-
that we're not gonna do it.
Yeah.
Right?
But the other, one of the companies saying don't do it, the other one accounted for doing it.
doing it, yep, so that's where you,
So what do you do in the winter? You go all the way to the end and turn around?
No, I can't, not the new truck.
Ah.
That's on our, we have an alternate map for the, my help,
Okay.
and he'll go down and do the end and turn around in there and come back out. I turn around at the T, or right at where their gate is,
Yeah,
the Freeman's
okay.
Field. I can make it there, but I don't want to get in that dome.
Right, no, I agree.
So it's kinda hard to compare if they're,
well, like I said,
Yeah,
you're
one's
looking
higher.
at what they both suggested for pounds, you know, one is cheaper per pound, and then the rest is at the companies, just, you know, how they, you have two different people deciding how much.
yeah. In the past, have we used both of these companies for crack sealing?
Mhm.
Ever? We've used them both?
Mhm.
Okay.
So
Does
refresh my
anybody
memory,
recall
which one of
either?
these guys did our double chip seal? On one's
On
80th? Yeah,
Neither.
wasn't Farner?
Well, Farner
was
did
Scott.
the first one,
Oh.
Scott was cheaper and did the back one.
Okay,
Which 180th, Street or Avenue? Because
okay, the
Which
very
one did
first.
the grading and then the,
Farm,
okay. And that
Yeah,
one came out
they
better.
did the ones by Long Lake.
yes,
Okay, they did a very nice job. so
yes. That looks like a paved road today.
Yeah, no, I agree, they do good,
It's a little more expensive, but
I think
They
they
do
did
nice
nice
work.
work.
Oh, they're actually less in this case.
They're actually less per pound,
Yep.
you know, but they,
oh, yeah, yeah. okay,
But they're
sorry.
using more
yeah,
pounds.
in some areas, but not, I mean, like I said,
Yeah.
but they are less per pound. I don't, you know,
Oh.
you'd have to ask Steve opinion on how the two companies are, I won't say.
I have an opinion, yes.
Hmm?
I said I have an opinion on which one I'd use.
Which one would you?
If it was up to me, I'd use Farmer.
Yeah.
Well, it's not up to you, it's up to the statute,
Yeah.
which says you use the lowest bid, unless you have a reason not to.
Yeah,
Yeah, and they are lower
So quality,
per pound, so it doesn't matter.
no,
They would be doing the same amount,
You
whichever
have to
one,
have
so
a
we
good
have.
reason not to use the lowest bid.
So we would use.
Partner anyway.
Do we want to, is this map good, or do we need to make any changes to what they're saying they're gonna do and not do? Is there anything else that we're maybe doing in the next year or two that we could, I mean, You know what I'm saying?
That we're gonna pave, so why,
Why throw,
but I think
unless
you've
if we
already knocked
needed
those off
to.
here, haven't you?
What we're gonna pave next year.
Anything that might be paved in the next year,
From looking at that map in that section, we've knocked off 200th and 165th at their thing, so I think those are the roads in that area.
Yeah, well,
But we're looking at the updated one, right, Johnny?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, 200's not on here.
So
no.
is there anything else on
Oh.
there that we
it
should
doesn't
pull
show 180th, does it?
No.
or add?
So what's all the legend, I mean, okay, so
Oh,
yellow
it's
is,
just the roads.
He just
125th.
did the different, he's naming,
I know, all this is yellow, so what does that mean?
I think that was the original map and he's,
Means 160.
yeah, I guess I'm not sure. That's not our map that he took our map and redid.
Looks like he's
Yeah,
just
it's
calling the
confusing
roads
in
the
that 'cause of
color
the
for some
different
reason.
colors and all that. I don't know, I didn't make that, with all that stuff in there.
Is this map from Farner?
Yeah, that's showing the blue, they did all the different colors, I don't know why,
I know,
but,
but it doesn't really make sense.
the map that went out to him had the 3 years. Red, 20, I mean, it had the years on it in 3 different
That we're
colors.
gonna get paved.
Yeah, but we did every new road that we've done to get those caught up in
Yeah.
here. And then we just went to the top half of the top third to start again our thing. Does that make sense?
Yep,
Because
To get
this
back.
map's
And I
missing
should have made a
one
copy of our map too in there
that's all right.
that I handed to them.
So one road I was going down was Fairgrounds to 200th. You following?
Yeah,
That's not on here, correct? Because this is Fairgrounds Road, the city limits to Sunshine. There's a lot of cracks along the edge of the road. Is that what we should be addressing right now, or do we wait another year on that?
no, I
That'll
thought
be
that
in
was
next
getting in there
year's.
with the new pavement, with the new pavement for it. No, you're talking between 200 and 210th, correct?
Correct.
Yeah, in my
That's
opinion,
this flat
that,
stretch up here.
that was part of the new pavement, and, what is there, 50-some cracks in that road right now, I think.
And that's what I'm saying.
Trenches, yeah,
They're, okay, so we wait and let the cracks get worse? Is that?
no.
But that's
It's
not
just,
on
it's
here.
not on here.
Okay, well, there's, I gotta look at that, what do you got? 'Cause
We
that's
got
not-
Fairgrounds Road, the city limits to Sunshine. That's the only Fairgrounds Road unless
So
I'm
we
reading
have
this
this
wrong.
stretch here, but you're talking about this stretch here.
Yes, and that stretch is actually older, it has cracks on it,
But we're not,
but it's not in that
it's
top
not
third.
listed to
Right, it's not in the top third. It'd be next year if we did the
Okay.
middle third.
Yeah.
look at.
I know there was some discussion, I believe the last meeting, that the newer asphalt would get thrown into this group to
Right.
get caught up.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So do we have a budget for this?
Yeah,
meeting?
it's.
Yeah, so
printed
then,
and That's where
um,
we need to look at this and see.
Yeah. Pieces of paper.
Is this the new one you gave us?
Yep, that one.
So this money's gonna come from the remaining highway fund? Is that?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
The additional we put in last month is in this somewhere, correct?
What is
extra-
that now?
The extra fill and the extra additional that it was gonna, that we approved last month. For-
That is all, so,
It's in 210
right,
somewhere?
right,
Okay.
so, remaining budget. So you've got what we budgeted,
Yep.
and then I'm taking the total of that, so that remaining budget, remaining funds in budget, that's minus what we've already paid, so the money we've already paid out has been taken out. So we at 705, 795 in budget. Now, we've committed,
469,600.
yep, we've
Okay.
committed that already, that we haven't spent yet, but it's committed. So when you go down below, the
That
remaining
is the
funds.
balance. Okay.
Yes,
So we got plenty to seal cracks.
yep.
So then.
So whatever
do
we take
do-
off from
Do we do
236.
Do
more?
we do more than just that top third?
Yeah.
But but we were gonna address 165th, for pulverizing and 200th, but we don't have a bid on them yet.
Right, we haven't bid anything
and
out,
then-
because you guys haven't decided for sure
There's nothing saying
where.
that they can't come back later in the summer and seal more cracks, is there?
No, they could, but
We
it's
just have to
nice when
bid
they're here,
it
if you knew it, you just,
Yeah.
they do an add-on to it, and then they get
Yeah,
knocked
so
out.
you get your mobilization fees and
Yeah.
whatever else.
From that, I actually counted them the other day, there's like 57 cracks that go completely across the road, a couple partials.
On Fairgrounds right
Yes,
there?
between 200th and 210th.
So that would be one to
But
add.
it's a really good idea to get them that first year or the second year when they start, so you don't, they don't depress.
I agree.
But that's, we're
So
not
is there
depressed
any
yet.
other ones that are major, that are newer roads that we need to catch right?
So is that not a new road, or that wasn't
Oh,
one
it
of
is,
them?
it was, oh, it's like 6 years.
2020,
ago.
2020 they did.
Oh.
Well, but it's comparable to
According
our
to
other
this
roads, it's
map,
fairly new.
2020
I
that
mean,
road was done.
that was done when I was
No, they
young,
haven't done
when I
it
was in
yet.
dresser.
She's
Okay.
talking,
No, it was redone in 2020,
Oh.
according to this green and that green.
Okay.
Right?
Well, 5 years ago.
So this is telling me it was. So this green says
Yeah, if
If you guys are
2020 and
bored,
that
you don't
road's
have to
green.
sit here.
Yeah, you guys can go. Sorry. Thanks for coming.
We ain't kicking you out
Was
though.
gonna-
Yeah, you're welcome to stay.
Yeah, according to this map, that road was redone in 2020.
2020, so 5 years ago.
Mhm.
Yeah. But it need, I mean, it does need it, but I mean, if you're gonna go another year, at least you know in a year it's gonna be done. That's on our next jump.
I think, personally, I think if we got money in the budget, I would.
I'd catch another.
Include that, so do what we
Yeah.
contracted and then have them, is that an issue with the way we did anything? Okay.
And next
Do we have an
year-
idea do you remember what it cost to pulverize a mile of road? Last year, 10,
Depending on the
12.
thickness, if you're 9 to 10 inches, 20 grand a mile.
20?
Yeah. If it's like 3.5, like a normal road around here, you're looking at.
Okay, so all I'm saying is, we wanna do
take-
200th and all that, so we got it in our
take
minds, we should
30
be like,
out.
we need 20,
So that's 1 mile.
correct.
And another 900 feet, so take 30 out just to be
But
safe.
then we haven't talked about it yet, but we were gonna talk about it in J, was that Lee's Avenue.
Lee's Avenue, but now isn't the worst road 180th, the other half up by where we chip sealed?
You haven't seen
But that
these.
wasn't, I didn't put the road plan.
Okay.
Was that in your road plan to do?
I think we talked before, it was gonna be 1/80th on the south end, that half mile, and 200th Street, that mile at the end,
Yeah, that's
by
right.
eye, and then pulverizing. And then that little piece on the bend on 165th.
Okay, see, I don't remember if 180th was on it.
It might
Okay,
not.
so if we pulverize it, then what are we gonna do with it?
Well,
Is it-
200th, we're gonna just leave pulverized and pave it next spring. Wasn't that our
Well-
talk?
We're not.
I would like to have that discussion with everybody about not doing that again, because we had a major problem, obviously,
But-
this spring. But that's my opinion. I would like to change out all the culverts and everything, let them sit over the winter, pulverize and pave the same year.
how deep,
But then it doesn't settle, right?
You sat here when Monarch said this is a good way to
It
do it.
is, but look at the problem.
I
We've
think
never
we-
had problems.
I think
with
we
that
just-
Well, we
I
found the
think we-
problem.
Okay, hopefully we fix that problem, and we don't have it
Yeah.
again, but
But don't you look at it like our glass is half full? I mean, we found that problem. If we would've done it, look at the problem we would've had. We would've threw $377,000 out the window.
But I think if we pulverize, we're not gonna widen it right away. We're gonna leave it pulverize, leave a really
Leave
good crown
material.
on it,
Yeah,
leave all the material on it, and then let the road crew widen it out when they show up.
so how deep do you core drill?
all the way through the pavement.
Just like,
I mean, you'd be going along, you'll hit, it's grayish type material as you're going. When it turns brown, you're into the soil beneath it, and then stop.
so you don't go any farther and check the soil underneath of it?
I have a drill bit to 1-inch bit, I mean, I don't have a core.
And that's just so we know, because they came back.
Yeah, cause we've got
In the
it bid a
past,
couple
we had a
times and
lot
said it was too
thicker
deep.
asphalt than what we thought, so they know when they come.
And wherever we do blade patching, I mean, like there was a spot on Fairgrounds where he pulverized 12 inches, but when he got to one spot that we blade patched a couple of times, in the
Just
soft spot
sinking.
between the two fairgrounds, he didn't get through the asphalt.
Just
We had to
seems,
go dig it out because it had sunk and just putting layers over it. But, I don't know that there's been much of that done on the north end of 200th. Most of the years when I'm patching, I'm through the asphalt and you can see dirt. So, in that
Is-
range.
Is Lee's Avenue heavily traveled?
One
This
house.
year,
One house? So like if we didn't leave it pulverized, is that a candidate for the double chip seal?
Yes,
Okay, I feel like,
then we leave it alone for years.
yeah, I feel like carefully, like, I feel like we have enough to
Right.
pulverize the major two plus
Said
the
pepper,
additional,
right.
plus add fairgrounds, and we'll still not spend all the money.
It's right off there.
Not that we need to carry it over, but I think that we will
Lee's.
have,
Lee's Avenue's right off 35.
That's gonna take heavy.
What am I looking at?
turnaround.
which one
I
Lee's?
thought this was Lee's.
Is Lee's?
No.
What's
Over to
Just what's
35.
going up
Get
to,
on, get on 35 north.
what's going up to,
Oh yeah, I do, cause it's
What
not
am I trying to
a full
say?
mile to that road, it's so weird.
Right.
There.
I was actually gonna ask why.
where are we
it was a full
going?
mile.
That's high.
Further south, a little bit further south.
Yeah, you gotta get out of
Get the
St.Croix.
name on it.
right there, I believe.
That's
Yeah.
160th.
A little further
Go,
south.
yeah, to your left.
So
Right.
it'd be
There
the
you go,
next-
yeah, I'm sorry, keep
Looking
going,
at this upside down. Keep going south.
keep going. Keep going. Right.
Huh?
No, yeah, keep.
It's right there. Now you can see the house there that it goes back to.
There it
the
is,
green
right there,
road.
Lee's Avenue.
It's like a glorified driveway.
It's exactly what it is.
That's all it is, it's like Joyce McKenzie's driveway.
Yeah, no,
They
I,
all were board members at one time, weren't
I know,
they?
and that's,
It's a long time ago.
They turned it over, then this township.
Lee
gets it.
Milligan, isn't that Milligan that used to
His
have?
dad,
Oh, is that?
yeah.
So is that considered a town road or is that?
Yeah.
considered-
It is a town road, 'cause they
And
made
we
it
get
town
gas
roads
tax off
back
it.
then.
That's why back in the day, but anyway.
So we're gonna talk about the pulverizing later, so if, I would make a motion to approve Farnar for the chip sealing, adding fairgrounds between 200th and 210th.
is there a second?
I'll second her motion.
All right. A roll call, please.
All right, Katie,
Aye.
Brent,
Yes.
Will,
Yes.
Mike.
Aye.
Okay.
And we say pulverizing for when that comes up. But,
Okay,
So-
so now your number at the bottom, we can literally subtract that.
Yeah, and it's
Plus,
gonna
we
be,
should
and
add
I
a
can
little
get,
bit.
I'm gonna ask when I send this, when I do up the contract, I'll send it to you, if you can just sign it and send it back, and
It'll
then I
be a
can
little
get
more.
it. That seems to work pretty good, so
Yep,
you don't
yep.
have to stop. And then I'll ask for about an estimate, 'cause he can tell me
Yeah,
about how much to take, and I'll take out his estimate and the contracted amount that we are agreeing here.
Okay. And then we're getting pulverizing quotes? Yes, no?
I would, yeah.
yeah. I think we should.
So
I
just to
think
be
we gotta
clear,
figure out our plan here, you know.
So for sure, the 165th Avenue.
We aren't gonna pulverize till fall.
So
Who
we're gonna
already-
need to do
who
some
already
patching.
I think mine are there.
Are we gonna
Mine are
need to do
still-
some patching on 180th?
I don't remember, it wasn't A1, but it was a new company started up last year that we got.
But
I'd have to go
who
back
did
to-
Farner work with? We pulverized it, then Farner come back and double chip sealed it, right? They didn't work.
Yes,
There was
Right,
two.
two separate.
Yeah, that's right, okay. But there was a guy in here that told us we should wait, pulverize it, and then we waited before we double chip sealed it. Remember that? On Long Lake, why did we wait?
Cause it was too cold, it got too
Okay,
cold,
Okay,
and so Farner had the bid the one year, and then
cause
it
it got
just
really bad that spring, then we come in and double chip sealed, and it's been really good.
Yep, so that's why it was supposed to be done, but it got held
Okay.
up a year
I think
because
you're
of
right.
the cold, they only do it to
Yeah.
October 1 or
Certain
so, whatever the
temperature.
So I
date.
just think if we're gonna pulverize and double chip seal, why don't we get on that before fall, so we don't run into the cold weather?
That's fine.
you
Unless
know?
if you're not gonna let it.
We
sit.
just gotta decide where we're gonna
Correct.
do that.
Correct.
Yeah, well, the way we've got the two here on there's the two listed, 165th, the last 900, 200th between 170th and 180th. And then
That's
we're
for
adding,
But
pulverizing.
165th, that's
Yeah,
that back
we're-
road.
Yeah, that's
we're
just
not
to
gonna double
pulverize,
chip
no
it.
chip seal.
Yeah.
gotcha, I'm talking only pulverize, sorry.
Yes.
If we're gonna double chip seal, I mean, we'd probably wanna get a bid in
Right.
Soon.
yeah, so I don't know, we're looking at July, if we wait until next month to talk about it again. Unless you want me to put a bid out for chip sealing, double chip sealing Lee's Avenue.
I'm not, I don't know.
Okay, you're not there yet? Okay, that's what I mean, I don't wanna make anybody feel rushed, I'm
No,
just
I'm
asking.
just, I'm trying to figure out how to get back to gravel and not touch it again.
Well, if we did pulverize this
Huh?
year and
Squeeze
left
that
it
in?
sit,
Yeah.
it gives us time to decide
I
what we're
think
gonna
there's
do.
like 4 of those roads in town that we could get back to gravel and,
If we
grade 'em once a
decided
year.
later, and if we decided they needed something more later on,
Well, I know
just not do it in the
for
same
one
year.
of the leaks, so to say, if there was problems like there is right now, it would be easier for me to go in and fix a gravel road than to go in with this asphalt.
for sure there would be.
Yeah, I mean, it's not just the first 40 yards that you're looking at, it's deflected down quite a ways and
But how do you get back to gravel without hauling that blacktop out of there?
pulverize it and blend it right in.
Yeah, that's what I.
It'd be fine.
Just leave it
Okay.
sitting there.
There's- I mean, like that road up by your house, I think that's the same deal. And then, the road off to the Joyce's Road, that too,
That's gravel. Neil's is still
I
gravel.
thought there was blacktop.
No.
No, Neil's is gravel and Dan's is gravel and Anderson is gravel.
Yes. And the 170th, the new one.
Yep.
Yeah.
So the ones that are dead ends are Leonard's, but there's quite a few houses on Leonard's. That's blacktop and Leo's is blacktop. And
Yeah,
there's-
that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
And we
Leo.
have the one like over, 150th, there's 2 of them that are dead ends that
Are
are.
blacktop.
Okay, we can discuss it
Yeah.
later.
So if we do double chip, we don't need to let that sit, or we
No.
should?
No, we don't.
We
need to.
don't.
Double
We-
chip does not need to sit.
No.
You can
No,
pulverize
it's
and double
just
chip
getting it on their docket.
before it
Not
gets cold.
guaranteed it'll get done this year.
I think we gotta ask ourselves, if we pulverize it and double chip seal it, okay, we pulverize it and leave it gravel.
Yep,
It's gonna we're gonna have to do more maintenance on it, grading.
Yes.
Okay, we double chip seal and then we leave it alone, we're saving,
We're gonna have 200 hours that Steve's gonna wonder what to do with, so.
oh, okay. Well, then we don't need more.
but even though you can do it this same year, I would
I get what
say
you're
we
saying.
can
You know what
decide
I
to
mean?
double
Yeah.
chip that later if we want to. Let's get the pulverizing out of the way
For bids right now.
for bids right now, and then if we decide to double chip,
Well, we can get the bid, we don't have to.
You don't have to, no.
Yeah.
So were we gonna
True.
get quotes first, or do you want me to put it out for bid for the pulverizing?
I mean, I'd just put it up for quotes, but we need to, we've got these two, plus Lee's, plus what part of 180th?
North.
North.
Half mile.
Okay.
175th north.
North.
So from the
north of
double chip seal
180th Avenue?
street.
No,
Street.
It's on one.
It needs to be either patched or it's all kind
So
of
that's
like
gonna connect to
200.
2/180th, is
Yeah.
that what we're doing?
Yeah, that last stretch.
I'm in favor of that, 'cause I wanted to do that last year when we were doing, yeah.
Okay,
Is that all of them? So
that
these,
would be a double chip.
165th,
So
200th,
then everything in that
Lee's,
corner would be
and
double chip
180th.
seal.
Yeah, right.
Am I missing
So
any?
get a price on that.
Pulverize and double chip or just pulverizing?
Pulverize and double chip
Yeah.
to finish out 180th.
And do you want me to do any official bids? Not yet?
I don't know why we wouldn't.
Yeah, I would say do the bids
I would say
now.
do the
Okay,
bids now and
okay.
get moving.
But
Okay.
that's the only one we would double
So,
chip is
correct.
180th.
Janet, we could
The rest is
put
just pulverizing.
But we can
Double
get a
chip
price
right
on
in the
these
bid,
to see
right?
what.
Yeah, I can double,
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
I still think.
No, that's fine.
So I wanna make sure I get so the part of 165th by Thamerton the dump pulverize?
Last 900 feet.
Well, it's not even that far, but.
Okay, yep, pulverize that only.
No? Just turn it to.
Sure, you can
road.
get a price on
You
it.
can get a price on
Okay,
it.
well, yeah, you can always
Good,
say no.
good price.
200th Street, the last mile.
170th to 180th.
Yes.
Yep.
And then on 180th Street from 165th to
175th to 180th.
180th.
Basically, it's that corner, so
Yep.
then our whole corner
Yeah.
will be connected.
And double chip seal, the 180th half mile, and
Lee's.
lease.
Do
get two
pulverize
quotes.
Just get some
Okay.
quotes.
Or, I mean, get a
Yeah.
bid, we don't have to do
Yes.
it, but yeah,
Yeah.
bid, so
Yeah.
Lee's and 180th. Okay,
Yeah.
think I've got that, so Lee's 180th, double chip,
That 180 is only a half a mile.
yeah, 'cause we did the half a
Yeah, we're
It's a
mile.
long half mile, right?
Nope.
No,
Dead
no, it
cross,
just
right
seems
on
like
that.
it.
Yeah, it does seem like
I
it.
think it's 'cause there's just not a lot of houses and you just kinda
Yeah, they
have.
go
Runs
down.
so bad.
Yeah, gotcha.
Alright, we done with the road discussion?
I got
What
one
about-
question
Wait,
actually.
oh,
For the Lee's Avenue, the future of vehicular traffic on it, is it gonna change compared to what it was in the past?
Our future, no, we won't be going down there with tractors or nothing no more.
Okay. That's why it's like, in the last 2 years, it's changed
Yeah.
quite a bit.
Yeah.
And I'm like, if it's gonna stay heavy, chip seal, in my opinion, would be great. But if it's going back to a house, it's not an issue.
Yeah,
Do peppers, you said, or they come off the highway?
pretty much highway. But I think Silberg's gonna go off of it, silage trucks. So, you been down there lately?
Yesterday.
Yeah, we widened it a lot. You know what I'm saying, where they come on to,
Oh, yeah, onto our road.
yeah.
Yeah, I thought you meant about the beginning by the highway there.
Yeah, no, it's ugly.
Yeah.
So,
All right.
get some prices.
Okay.
On to item K, approval of training. Do you guys have any training that needs to be taken? All right, on K, any more public comment from anybody in the audience? All right. Time and date for our next meeting?
The 18th of June.
Okay,
Are you good?
I'm here.
And just so, next month will be all the licensing renewals. Pretty straightforward, I mean, it's just the normal licensing renewals, and then we'll have one special exception and one commercial design guidelines coming out of the plan commission.
I was gonna say, so you're gonna have a plan commission?
Yeah, it looks like June and July, so.
All right, somebody wanna make a motion to adjourn?
I will make that motion.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Everybody in
Discussion.
favor?
Aye.
Opposed? All right, thank you for coming.